welcome to EXI Flow Measurement's 7th video in a series about the SFC3000 supervisory flow computer. In this 7th video we are going to look at using the SFC3000 Windows configuration software to connect to the unit we configured in video 5 to calibrate inputs and outputs on the installed I/O boards. If enabled in the configuration, calibration can also be performed via the edit mode on the front panel. To calibrate an I/O board, the SFC3000 needs to know via the configuration that a particular board is installed. See video 5 for instructions on creating a configuration. Run the SFC3000 configuration software and log in using credentials created in video 4. Plug the provided USB cable into the flow computer and PC. Click in the Connect menu. A dialog with a list of available SFC3000 will appear. Select the required SFC3000 and click OK. A progress bar will appear while certain information is gathered from the selected unit. When all the required information has been read, the connection menu will be displayed. Click Calibrate Inputs and Outputs. This will bring up a dialog box showing available I/O boards to calibrate. Select the board to be calibrated and click OK. In this example we are using an analog I/O board, as this is an example of each input and output that can be calibrated. Now the main calibration dialog is shown. Each input or output on the selection board has its own tab, working from left to right. For an analog I/O board, PRT, analog input 1 to 4, heart, and analog output 1 to 3. The combination will vary depending on the I/O board being calibrated. Click the PRT tab. All tabs except heart have the same 5 buttons along the top edge. Start Calibrate starts the calibration process. Write writes the new calibration data to the I/O board via connected flow computer. Discard discards any calibration changes made but not written. Default reverts to default factory calibration. Stop Calibrate stops the calibration process. Click Start Calibrate. In this example we are using equivalent resistor values to simulate calibration points. This is the same method as used in production to prove the input is both calibratable and within tolerance for linearity. Apply the lower calibration input to the unit, e.g. set the PR input to 0 degrees C or 100 ohms. Type the target value into the wanted box for point 1, in this example 0. Wait for the ADC value to stabilise. A predicted value based on current calibration settings is shown in the box at the bottom, but this value will not be very useful and may not be a number until the upper point is entered. Press the set button for point 1. Apply the upper calibration input to the unit, e.g. set the PRT input to 90 degrees C or 134.7 ohms. Type the target value in the wanted box for point 2, 90 for this example. Wait for the ADC value to stabilise. Press the set button for point 2. This process may need to be repeated a few times if large changes in calibration points are being applied. In production, the linearity is checked by applying 50 degrees C or 119.4 ohms to the input. Click Write and confirm, and then stop Calibrate. Analog inputs are calibrated in a similar way to the PRT input. In production we apply 4.8 mA and 18.4 mA, 5 and 90% of range, then check at 12 mA. The wanted points are entered as the applied milliamp value. The main firmware then interpolates or extrapolates using these points and the input range values to generate the actual value. In the Heart Calibration tab, there are buttons to stop the I/O board communicating with either one or all of the configured sensors to make it easier to calibrate connected sensors using a handheld communicator. Analog outputs are calibrated by setting DAC values for 4 and 20 mA. This will require an external means to measure the output current. Click Start Calibrate, then 4 mA. This will force the selected output to 4 mA. By clicking the plus and minus buttons above and below each digit, the set point for 4 mA can be changed. When happy, change to 20 mA and repeat. Right and stop calibration. The output will now be interpolated between these points. Click End Calibration, click Log Off and Close. In the next video, we will look at using the firmware download wizard. Please see the EXI flow measurement website for more information and downloads via the contact page. Thank you for watching.